Hello. So I decided I should do like an update thing. Plus, I wanted to share the two new things I got. Guys, I don't really have any physical games to show. I got some digital ones. I went ahead and got the rest of Steins Gate. Got the Darling Embrace, the Linear Unbounded Phenagram, which is 10 side stories based off of the original Steins Gate Elite storyline. Elite is just basically the remake of the original Steins Gate, but you know, with the anime sequences. Anyways, I think the side content doesn't have anime sequences. I think it plays like the original Steins Gate played. I've never played that one, so I guess that'll be a thing. And I already physically had Steins Gate Zero, so I went ahead and got My Darling's Embrace, which is the other side game. And then I got the side stories that go along with Steins Gate Elite. Whew, that was tongue tying. Alright, was that the only. I'm trying to remember if that was it. Okay, that was it for PC. On the Switch, I got Dragon Ball Z Kakarot, the Master Edition, so that I could have all the storyline arcs, including the one that comes out later this year, which I guess is the part two. Is it part two or is it part three? I don't remember. The last part, the newest last part of the Daima section, which is the last of the Kakarot DLC to be released. That's going to be released. Let's put it that way. All right. Anyway, I went and got that. That way, I'd have all the story arcs, including like the side ones. I got Poison Control because it was on sale. That's by NIS America or NISA. I don't know however you want to say it. It's something that's been on my wish list for a long time, but like it was never on sale. It was on sale for like $4, so I was like, I'm gonna go ahead and get it. I don't know when I'll get around to it, but I do know it plays similar to like other games by that game company. So I know I'll enjoy it because I do like their other games, even if I've not actually finished any of them. It's something I'm working on. I went ahead and got Chained Echoes and Chained Echoes' DLC story because they both were on sale. I was like, yes. And I got Yuru Kill the Elimination games, or however you say that. It's something that's been on my wish list for a long time. Also, it was on sale, so I was like, yes, I need to get this while it's on sale. And then finally, on PlayStation Network, I got the what was it? The Cruel King and Great Hero. Oh, I forget. I know it's the follow up to the. I have the other game, but I went ahead and got it and I played. Yeah, the Cruel King and the Great Hero. I know it's the follow up to the Liar Princess and the Blind Prince. I need to play both technically. I went ahead and got that because I know I will at some point play them. They're definitely my kind of thing. I like the storybook thing, and it's who cares? We're not going into details. That's not important. And then before I give the channel update, I did want to go ahead and show what I got. So these are both Digsta re-releases because these came out at one time and then they were sold out for a long time. I think they're sold out again. But they reissued and I pre-ordered them the moment that they were announced through Hobby Genki? GNKI. Yeah, GENKI. Following the word hobby, HOBBY. Anyway, I went to their website and pre-ordered these things. I have like points adding up on there. I got like $4, I think, in points from where I've been pre-ordering stuff. Anyways, so this one's obviously Kiryu. You can kind of see his hand off to the side here. He has a microphone hand. It's kind of hard to see it with it being in the box still. I just haven't took it out of the box yet because like this is super cool, and I'm like, I don't want to like lose this, but I do want to see his microphone hand. I don't know. I'm gonna see if there's like a way to like open this safely and just change his hand out and then put him back in and keep the box with the dragon. We'll see, because I do know I have another figure of him coming without his like shirt and jacket on, and you could see this on him. So I might go ahead and just and make myself not hold on to stuff I don't need to keep, like the box. Anyways, his box is not as cool because this is just the Shun guy. Here he is on his characteristic phone. I swear that man's like always on the phone. Anyway, outside of the fact that this guy's like always on his phone, he was the same thing. A Digsta reissue that I went ahead and ordered. I ordered them both at the same time, obviously, as that's why they both came at the same time. I'm not sure exactly when they released from the pre-order. I know it was around the same time because they both came out around the same time. I think it was like a little time difference, but not a lot. Obviously, his box is not as cool. His just has the money shower. It's still funny to look at, though. It definitely embodies him. So that made me happy. I was delighted. I got them both. And that's all that mattered. So those are the only physical things I got. And obviously, they're based off of the Yakuza franchise. And that is a game series that I'm going to start this year. I'm going to start with Yakuza 0, and we'll see how far I get game-wise from there. So, the channel update, and I also want to do like a better explanation of what I'm going to try to play this year, because I just kind of rambled and didn't know what I was talking about last time because I hadn't planned anything really, except for making a list of what I want to play and trying to make sense of it, which is not the smartest thing. Alright, so with the channel this year, I want to try to stream every other day. No guarantees, because like today, I planned to stream, but my computer decided to give me heart palpitations by crashing. Like, black screen, text going across it, there was an error, and it's just like run-on lines across the screen of there was an error, it needs to restart, and the like letters are bleeding into each other. And I was like, after it scared me half to death, it restarted. And then I watched it with fear, as it took forever to reload itself. But it apparently reverted back to its previous data or whatever, and is fine now. Hopefully. I don't know, I'm giving it like the look. I'm like, you have to be fine. You're not allowed to crash like that. That was terrifying. Oh goodness, I got something in my eye and I need to drink my drink. I don't even know how that's possible. Alright. Obviously, collection videos are still going to be going on. And video game updates. I'm not sure how often, though. I was doing it once a week. And I mean, I can do one next week if I wanted to. I'm going to have games come this week that I have already ordered and basically I'm waiting for. But I don't know if I will. I want to obviously continue to share them, but I'm thinking that maybe I'm going to wait until I've at least finished a game. Whether it's a game I finished on stream or my game that I'm playing off stream. So, we'll see. I'm not really 100% sure on that. I mean, my goal is to play at least an hour a day. I have exceeded that so far. Because I started on the 1st, I gave myself a brief break. Like, from the time I dropped Shadow Labyrinth, because it made me mad, to right after midnight on New Year's. Right after it became the new year. That time period, I was like, no. I'm not picking up a game. You can't make me. I'm taking a break. I'm mad. I needed that time. I recalibrated. I'm good. Um, and I'm oh gosh, I'm back to an hour a day. That's kind of my goal for the year. At least an hour a day, if nothing else. you know, if I play more, great. If I don't, whatever. Just at least play an hour. If the game is not clicking, I am allowing myself to play up to 4 games at a time. So, like, right now, my main game that I have been playing consistently, actually, is Bravely Default. I had to start over because, like, I was not getting it. Like, the enemies were kicking my butt, and they shouldn't be at that early point in the game. Well, I say early. It was like close to the halfway point in the game, but they shouldn't be that difficult. At least the way I was making them difficult, anyways. I don't know what I was doing wrong per se. I think it had to do with my equipment loadout. I think it also had to do with my setup of like attacking and stuff. Like I didn't really grasp the stuff like I should. So this time, I'm taking the job system slower. I'm starting out with the freelancer. I'm getting everybody up to 10. Let's go ahead and unlock that thing that allows us to get more job points. And then I'm going to go from there. And I'm going to kind of keep it simple at first. Like magician people, we need a healer and we need a magic user that, fights. And then the other two need to be fighting classes that can thump things. So like the knight and the monk. And that's going to be like a good start. That's kind of the point I'm at. I'm like, we're just going to keep it simple and just do it one at a time and see how it works. If I decide that I like a certain job class, they might just stay that job class. That's kind of what I'm like, I don't know. We'll see. Because my goal is to beat the game. And I know you have to come close to completing the game to beat it, to get the true storyline. Because you have to do everything in the game. So. Since I have to do all the quest lines in the game in order to get that ending, it became important to me. I'm like, I need to start over and do something different. I don't know what I was doing wrong per se. Maybe I should have bought new equipment sooner. Maybe I should have alternated the equipment better. I wasn't really sure. I knew I didn't have like the best equipment. I knew that I was not doing good like in the battles. I wasn't sure precisely the reason for it. I just knew I wasn't doing good. And that was all I needed to know to be like, yeah, I need to start over and try again and see if I can't figure out what I did wrong. Like, the moment I see something's going wrong, make that a separate save file, load the old save, and experiment instead of pressing forward. That's my goal. Anyways, this time around, I'm officially 9 hours in. I'm going to play a little bit longer tonight. So by the time you see this, I'll probably be 10 hours in, 10.5, something like that. But at this point, I'm further than I ever got, even when I was, like, running it, like, to catch up before, whenever I had a save data issue that took place. Yeah, I've never got this far in 9 hours. I'm already at the Wind Crystal. I just beat the Wind Crystal boss at 9 hours and 14 minutes. And I'm getting ready to do the Tap Tap Revolution. I have the dialogue on pause. Because I'm like, no. Ooh, excuse me. Not ready for that right now. So I've I've been doing that, and it's been going way smoother than any of my attempts. Like, my characters are relatively strong. The only enemies that are taking tactics are the bosses, which makes sense. The tactics are going smoothly this time since I seem to actually know what I'm doing. Um, the Norinde thing is going okay. I'm not like far in it. It's still like early stages of Norinde being recovered, but it's making good progress, and that's all that matters. I had to move my leg. My leg's falling asleep. So that's all. That's all good, and that's all that stuff. So with the update, the main thing I want to talk about is what I'm gonna do. Obviously, I told you about the stream. It's gonna be every other day, and then the next day after the stream, I upload to YouTube. At least until I make Twitch partner, and then if I ever make Twitch partner, I have to wait. I think a week. I forget. I'll have to look it up. So we'll see. For now though, it's just next day I'll upload it. Sometime probably end of this week. If not the end of this week, early next week. There is one more thing of Pokemon cards. I forgot I had not got the Lucario figure box. I thought I had gotten all the boxes, but I forgot about that one because it has a figure and it was sold out. And then Macy's had it, so I was like, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and get it. So, there is one more Pokemon card box set that I get to open before I go back to waiting until the next thing comes out through Pokemon Center that's pre-ordered. Okay. So, outside of that, obviously, like I said, I'm gonna do my collection haul upload thingies along my video game updates after I at least beat a game. Depending how long it takes to beat that game depends on, if I wait a little bit first or not. Obviously, right now, yeah, it's gonna be a little while before I finish a game. I don't know how much longer the Pokemon game's gonna take. I have no clue, but I know it'll take at least a little while since I only get like an hour and a half ish to work with the stream on nights that I stream. So whatever. And I know that the Bravely Default's long. It gives an approximate of 72 hours or something like that on how long to beat, and I was like, okay, fine. Alright. So, a better grasp of what I want to do game-wise. So, I don't know if I'll actually stream any of these games. It's quite possible that all of these games I'm going to mention are not going to be streamed. Most likely, I'm just going to play them and then review them. So, obviously, I'm playing Bravely Default. The trade-out games are Yakuza 0 Director's Cut, Switch 2 version, Hollow Knight on PlayStation 5 through the PlayStation Network. I think it's technically the PS4 version of Hollow Knight. I don't know. I know it's like it has everything. I think it says it's like Void Heart Edition. Whatever. I got it through PlayStation Plus. Don't ask me. I don't know. A Hat in Time, same thing. I got it through PlayStation Plus. I'm going to play it on my PlayStation 5 using my PlayStation Portal. Who cares? Those are the 4 games I have set up as interchangeable, and that's because they're so vastly different from each other. Obviously, Bravely Default is your turn-based JRPG, traditional as all sense. You go from point A to point B, and sometimes you veer off the course to do a side quest. And then you get right back on track. And it got your leveling, and it has the job system that I'm working my brain around. I have, like, a guide thing I can cross-reference to, like, try if I get stuck, like, just check it to see if, like, maybe if I switch to the jobs that they have recommended. I don't know. Yakuza 0, has JRPG elements, but it's definitely like a brawler. You beat guys up. But it has like a bunch of like fun stuff to do that's optional mini games and stuff, and that's the thing that I mostly look forward to. I know that it also has like a really in depth story that I'll definitely enjoy. Unlike Bravely Default, which is kind of like this, we're gonna bring the crystals back to life. I'm sorry, Final Fantasy's done it so many years. I'm tired of bringing the crystals back to life. I don't care. Hollow Knight is a action adventure Metroidvania. It's just called Metroidvania. Um, you're a little dude and you run around beating up evil bugs or something like that. I don't really entirely grasp the story. I feel like playing it will make more sense than anything I've watched trying to explain it to me. All I know is I'm going to do my best. And when I beat it, that is the ending I'm getting. And I'm just going to look up the other endings because I know I'm not going to be very good at it. It's just something I really want to play. Just like I want to play its sequel at some point. Probably not this year. And then A Hat in Time is just. It's a platformer. It's an action platformer, action adventure platformer. Uh, in 3D space, like Super Mario 64 type platforming sort of thing going on, and it really seems to take from that. You're collecting time thingy mabobbers. You're not collecting stars, but you're collecting something. And that's kind of the whole point of it. You gotta collect so many thingamahoobers to move on. And that's what you do throughout the whole game, from what I understand. There's obviously a storyline involving Hat Kid and some girl with a mustache, and you know what? I don't know. It looked hilarious. There's like these evil mafia men trying to stop the girl with the hat, and they took her time-a-jiggers. I'm like, what did you take her time-a-jiggers for? What are you going to do with her time-a-jiggers? I don't know. And what does the mustache girl have to do with it? I don't know. I literally know only like what I saw in like a demo back when it was like on Kickstarter. So, yeah. I know very little about Hat in Time. I do know it looks cute and funny, and even though I'm not very good at platformers, I won't lie, I'm terrible at them. I'm decent enough at these 3D styled ones that I think I can beat the game. It's one of those things, I'll have to throw myself at it a few times, but it's something basically different from the other games I'm playing. So I'm like, these are four vastly different games I can interchange at any time when I need a break from one of them. Like, whenever I get stuck in Bravely Default, instead of getting mad and thinking about restarting again. Like, no, let's not restart this time. Just take a break. Go be Hat Kid. Or go be a little bug. I don't know. Anyways, those are, like, the four I have that I'm going to have, like, running concurrent with each other until, like, I beat something and then I'll swap it with something. I made a list of specifically this time 10 games on to play on PlayStation 5 and 10 games to play on my Switch that I don't know. I'm not sure actually I don't know if I have them in the order I'd play them in, but I have them in an order. And it's just kind of, these are the ones I want to try to get to this year. I know that seems like an awful lot, considering I only did 17 games last year, but we'll see. So, I'll start with the PlayStation 5. So, Clair Obscur Expedition 33 is at the top of that list. I definitely want to play that game. Hilariously, I'm turning 33 this year, so I feel like this game's really going to hit hard. I feel like it's going to be, like, my sad game. It's going to be the game that I play and, like, cry at times. But want to play it anyways because I'm insane. I'm not insane. I don't know. Like, sometimes I play games and I want the story to make me sad because I feel it's more relatable. I don't know. And then after I finish that, or somewhere in the midst of everything, Blue Reflection. That's a PlayStation 4 game, but obviously you can play it on PlayStation 5. I've been wanting to play this game. I like Magical Girl stuff. I've liked it since I was little, since I watched Sailor Moon. Um, I mainly want to play it because I know that the sequel's really good comparatively. And I know it's a good game. I just know the sequel's better. I've seen enough stuff about it without them spoiling it. They've basically like done their best to avoid spoilers to see that I would enjoy it. It's the kind of game that like even though it looks like it might be like repetitive and kind of stupid at times, that I would totally like it. I would be the type of person that just sits there just into that game for no good reason, just because. Um Crisis Core Final Fantasy VII Reunion. I actually do own a physical copy on PlayStation 5, but I might just download it through PlayStation Plus. Who cares? I have put off beating Crisis Core for a long time, like since PlayStation Portable. And I was like, I need to do it. I need to finish it this time. It's not a hard game. It's not an incredibly long game. It's average length. And I just keep putting it off because I know how it ends. And I'm like, I don't want to see that. I need to just do it. I need to quit being ridiculous and I need to do it. Speaking of Final Fantasy, I keep putting off Final Fantasy VI. I have the Pixel Remaster. I own the 1 through 6 Pixel Remaster digitally. So I'm going to go ahead and download 6 and play it at some point. Goal is this year. Because I know I need to play Final Fantasy VI at some point. It's the Final Fantasy that like everybody talks about, and I'm like, I know, but I don't know. I have no good excuse. The rest of these are just kind of games that I looked at and thought, oh, I'm curious. A Plague Tale: Innocence, also through my PlayStation Plus membership. I've seen like trailer of it. I've seen a trailer of it. That's a great explanation. I've not seen a whole lot about it. It just definitely is like it's like a vibe. It's dark and kind of ominous, and it kind of reminds me of Bramble the Mountain King in the way that it's like dark and ominous. And I'm like, I wonder if it'll play kind of like that. Probably not, but I get the same kind of feeling from it, and I feel like I'll be into it for the same kind of reason because I want to see the story. It won't necessarily be because of the gameplay. Definitely not sure I'll be into the gameplay because it kind of seems like it's kind of a stealthy guide this person around game, but I don't care. It definitely looks like a story that I'd be into. Another Crab's Treasure. That one just looks funny to me. Like Elden Ring, but as a crab. I mean, I don't know why, but that's just the most hilarious thing to me in the world. I don't know if I'll actually finish it. It might be one of those games I just play it for a good, solid, hard laugh and then move on. But I do want to at least play it this year and find out how I feel about it. Banisher's Ghosts of New Eden. Another one that I don't know much about, except for that the story looks interesting. I do know it seems like it's all like magic usury, and that's not generally what I like playing as. So we'll see. It might be another game that I just kind of play and move on. It's something I'm going to check out, basically. Biomutant. That's something I've been wanting to play. For no solid reason other than because, like, the character on the box looks cute, and I like fuzzy, furry animals. My reasoning is flawless, as usual. I want to play it. I've been wanting to play it, so I'll play it. I most likely will beat it. I don't think it's going to be too difficult for me to beat. Bloodborne. I might get stuck at times on that one. But I do know Bloodborne is something that ever since I seen it release, I've been wanting to play. I dabbled in it at one point, and I realized it was a hard game whenever I died so fast that it was ridiculous. I think I pretty much died in the tutorial because I hadn't really learned how to play. Whoops. All right. So I seen that Code Vein 2 is coming out this year, and I said it is. So I said, you know what? I should actually play Code Vein 1 and see if I even like the game before I decide whether or not I'm interested in Code Vein 2. So I was like, you know what? Put Code Vein on the list to fill out that list for this year. Those are my, 10 games for the PlayStation 5. And I was like, yeah, I will actually, at some point, play Code Vein, find out how I feel about it. Because I don't know. Then over on the other side of life, with the Switch, I went kind of with a different feel. 13 Sentinels Aegis Rim. So, visual novel, tactical RPG. I'm not really sure what to categorize it as. Because it has visual novel elements, but it also has, like, tactical RPG stuff going on, so... I do know I want to play it. I've seen enough lists and stuff talk about it, and I'm like, I think I would enjoy that game. Because it's not just straight visual novel, it has, like, stuff going on. So it'll keep me entertained. I'm a little concerned about the battles part, because I'm like, I can just feel me messing that up. But I figure I can always look up a guide if I need to. Speaking of guides, the next game I got on that list is Ayakashi Koi Gikyoku, or Forbidden Romance with Mysterious Spirits. So they're like fax spirit people? I don't know. And it is a visual novel. I definitely have to look up a guide for that one, so I can see all the endings. That's what I do with visual novels. I try to see all the endings. Which I'll try to do with 13 Sentinels Aegis Rim too. I'm sure there's a way to, like, see all the different endings. From what I understand, it's not too hard. There's, like, a chart or something. I don't know. I'll figure it out. After that is Atelier Ryza. I'm going to look up, like, how many endings there are, and then just kind of choose an ending and aim for it, I guess. It might be a case of where I just play through the game and do what I think sounds fun to do, and do what I think you should do in the game, and see how it ends, and then look it up afterwards. We'll see. I haven't really decided on that one. Just kind of I know I want to play the game. I haven't really decided how I'm going to approach it yet. But I've been wanting to at least sit down and play through an Atelier game, and I know Ryza's like it's a good, okay starting point. It's not hard, and it's not, like, dumb. Alright, I also want to play 9 RIP. It's a visual novel for the Switch. So, like, I'm not sure I understood what I read about it, but I think all of your romance options are dead people. I don't really understand entirely. I could be wrong. I could be entirely wrong about it. I just know that it's weird the way that the stuff was described, and it's creepy. And I was like, yeah, I want to play that because that's weird and creepy, and I think I'll really like that. So I got the game when it was on sale at some point last year. So I'm like, you know what? I want to play it this year. Some point. I want to play it this year. A Space for the Unbound. That's a game I've been wanting to play. I think it's a JRPG. I'll be honest, I don't know much about it. I know it's an indie game. And I know that it came with, like, these little standee arts that had a bunch of kitties. And I love kitty cats. So I'm hoping it has something to do with kitty cats. I literally do not remember what this game is about. I know there had to have been a reason that I bought it. But I remember nothing. And I don't want to, like, read the back of it and feel stupid. So I just put it on the list because I'm like, you know what? I had to have a reason that I bought it. And I'm going to play it. Regardless what that reason was. Because I don't remember. on the stuff I do remember, Crypt Custodian. So you're like a dead cat that was bad or something. So you're a janitor. You're a janitor for the rest of your afterlife. And I guess you use your broom to beat up stuff and to talk to other little ghosties and help them or not help them. I'm not really sure. I do know it's just kind of an interesting looking game. I was like, you know what? It'll be fun, regardless exactly how it plays out. I do know it's like kind of like an actiony game. It kind of gives me Death's Door vibes. So I'm hoping it's not as hard, but we'll see. Cat Quest. Oh, excuse me. Now, I don't know if that's an action RPG or if it's a JRPG. I've never actually played it to find out. Shame on me. But it is a cat on a quest. And that is enough for me. That's enough for me to decide I should just go ahead and finally play it and quit being goofy. Corpse Party. I actually know what that is. I'm going to try to play that around October. So that is a visual novel slash adventure slash point and click kind of game. It's not really an RPG because you don't really battle anything or gain any levels or anything. It's not full visual novel because you have to explore and pick stuff up and solve puzzles and stuff in order to get the good ending. Let's put it that way. There's certain things to not pick up too, which that's its own headache. I'm going to use a guide so I can get all the endings because I like to torture myself. So Corpse Party is very, very dark and depressing. So there was a girl who died named Sachiko, and I guess her mom died, was murdered. Presumably these people were murdered. Sachiko's spirit is restless and mean, to say the least. And that seems to be like the premise for Corpse Party and its like side things. So yeah, sweet Sachiko's birthday surprise or something like that. You got Book of Shadows, and then finally Blood Drive. So I don't know what order all that stuff goes in. From what I understand, the best way for me to play it, if I'm going to play the series, start with Corpse Party 1. It's just called Corpse Party. And then play Blood Drive. Because parts of Blood Drive get referenced in Book of Shadows. And I have no idea what is in the surprise birthday party game other than more torment. I don't know. I'm smiling about that. I'm weird. So they are horror games. That's the best way to categorize them. And I know the first game for sure takes place by them doing it's posted online and you find out later on. I think it's in Book of Shadows that you find out the true story behind how this got posted online and how it's a trap. But you take these paper dolls and you make some kind of friendship wish or something, and it's supposed to give you a blessing, but it doesn't. If done correctly, according to the online post, because the online post is not correct. It's wrong. If they do it according to that post, identically to what the post says, things that shouldn't happen. The next thing you know, you'll still have your doll, and you need to keep the stupid thing. You'll have your paper doll severed from the rest of the paper dolls that everybody was holding because they were like a chain. You need to keep your particular paper doll. And you're now trapped inside of this other dimension, inside what used to be an elementary school. It's now run down and filled with spirits. I would say ghosts, but they're spirits because they straight up attack you and kill you. Spirits of dead children. So that's fun. And they want things that are missing from them. And you kind of got to find it and give it to them. You also need to find and discover what happened there. And as you piece this messed up mystery together, make sure you also make sure everybody has their paper doll still in order to leave. Or you get the bad ending. But you also can't pick up everything. Because I think there's just one note that was left behind by a previous person or whatever, that picking it up gives you the bad ending. And I'm like, why do you get a bad ending for picking that up? I don't understand, game. You want me to pick up all these notes, but not that one. Not that one. But the other 12. Not the 13th one. Other 13th one is part 1. It doesn't have to make sense. It's one of those, you save it, you pick it up, you get the bad ending, but you get to read the bit of information you needed. And then you load and move on without picking it up that time. The messed up thing is it makes you, like, go out of your way because you have to, like, go upstairs to go to a save, and you have to avoid all these sinister spirits of death while doing it. Yeah, they chase you. They're very kind like that. And it seems like everything moves like a grid system, kind of. Like, there's block panels, basically, that you can kind of figure your characters along. It's a thing. There was an anime of this. Only place I could find this anime was on YouTube. I have absolutely no idea how YouTube is allowing that on there. Because if you watch it, I think it's like Tortured Souls or something like that. Oh my goodness. Hello Nightmares. If the game is anything like its anime counterpart, Hello Nightmares. It is terrifying. Especially the messed up stuff. Most messed up part, the anime goes by the bad ending. You don't survive. I'm like, thanks, anime. So, that's fun. And I mainly want to play the game to see the good ending. I want to see our characters survive. Because, how dare them? Because I was just going to watch the anime and move on with my life. But no, they killed the character for no good reason. And I said, how dare you? Fine. We're just going to go ahead and play the games. Plus, the anime hinted at Book of Shadows and that particular plot line of characters. So I want to see, like, what happens with them if you play it through. I'm pretty sure they get trapped, but I still want to see it. I don't know. I'm weird. I like strange things like that. It's the sort of thing that I'm really into because it's not like an action horror game where you're like fighting zombies or some nonsense. It's like legit scary horror stuff, and I am all about that. Alright, the other 2 games for the Switch. Cosmic Star Heroine. That is a JRPG. And then Blue Reflection Second Light. Because I'm going to try to, early in the year, get through Blue Reflection 1. That way, maybe towards the end of the year, I can play Blue Reflection 2. It'll be very much needed after playing Corpse Party. I promise you, I will want magical girls to surround me at that point. So, I felt that was a good swap of taste. So, those are my goals. We'll see how many actually get through. I don't know. And like I said, I don't know stream wise. I do know, obviously, I'm going to continue and finish Pokemon Legends ZA. I know words. Before I choose another one. I really don't know. It's possible that the next one will be the Dragon Quest HD 2D games because I do want to play them, and they're just not top priorities for me. And that's all I can think of, really, is I'm not sure. Okay. So that's everything. I got it all covered this time. Thank you for listening, watching, whatever. Until next time, bye bye.